More than 100 million people are saddled with health care debt in the U.S. That includes about 40% of all adults, according to an investigation by Kaiser Health News and NPR. A new poll finds 1/4 of American adults with health care debt owe more than $5,000. In partnership with Kaiser Health News, our consumer investigative correspondent Anna Werner spoke with one family on the front lines of this debt crisis. Anna, good morning.
Good morning, Nate. What we're talking about here is a healthcare system that forces massive numbers of people into debt that ripples through their lives for years and has major consequences, as one Chicago family found.
Marcus and Allie Ward planned carefully before having children. He runs a nonprofit, she's a neonatal nurse practitioner, and they put their finances in order before getting pregnant.
I think we thought we knew everything that could come down the pike.
So it's like you are unprepared no matter how prepared you are.
What they couldn't prepare for were twin boys born prematurely at just 30 weeks, both diagnosed with cerebral palsy and other issues. Milo would spend 8 weeks in the neonatal intensive care unit, Theo 4 months. The costs quickly exhausted their insurance. Suddenly, they found themselves owing $80,000.
What went through your mind?
It was a lot of panic, and it was a lot of do we file for bankruptcy? Do we, they can't repossess a child, so I guess I get to keep them. But
right.
What do I do now?
Allie Ward says the stress blocked some of the joy surrounding the twins' birth.
Instead of being able to be present in the experience of being a new mom and a new family, a lot of times it was, oh my gosh, how are we going to make this work?
The couple used all their savings, maxed out their credit cards, and wiped out their retirement accounts. And still, it wasn't enough.
You still wound up with debt that you're still paying on.
Yeah.
Does that make you mad?
Yeah, yes. I think we were even madder about the fact that, what about people who don't have all the benefits that we had in the situation?
Many are struggling. A new poll from the Kaiser Family Foundation finds in the past 5 years, more than half of U.S. adults have gone into debt because of medical or dental bills. 1 in 7 people with debt say they've been denied access to a hospital, doctor, or other provider because of unpaid bills. And about 2/3 have put off care they or a family member need because of cost.
Care just costs so much more in the United States than almost anywhere else in the world.
Dr. Erin Carroll is a health policy researcher.
What do you think is driving this medical debt crisis?
I think it's a combination of the high price of healthcare in America, coupled with the fact that even with insurance, Americans still out of pocket have to pay a significant amount for healthcare.
That worry never goes away. You're just waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Which is what happened to the Wards again in 2019. The couple had enrolled their then 7-year-old twins in physical, occupational, and speech therapy programs doctors said they needed to help with their cerebral palsy. But then they say their insurance company, which had been paying for the sessions, suddenly reversed course, sending them dozens of denial letters for past therapy sessions.
The mail person, they actually knocked on the door, and they're like, these won't fit through your slot, so here you go. And they handed us a bundle of these letters.
The denial letters
Yep.
were for how much, roughly?
About $40,000.
$40,000.
Yeah.
So here you go again.
Right.
This time, the Wards wound up suing their insurance company, and they won, cutting the new debt to just a few $1,000s. But they're still paying on the original debt from the twins' birth, roughly $500 each month.
So how are you doing now financially?
We're recovering, but we're still in a pretty drawn-out recovery from it.
On the bright side, Allie Ward says they're a family.
It seems like the part that really worked out for us is that our love for each other and our love for our kids.
Well, the Wards say they're glad their twins are thriving, thanks in part to those expensive therapies over the years, but they're worried about potential surprise bills in the future. How much medical debt Americans actually have in total is hard to know because so much isn't recorded and much of it is put on credit cards. You won't be surprised to hear that. A 2019 Kaiser analysis estimated that collective medical debt totaled at least $195 billion. That's larger than the economy of Greece.
We are failing each other in this country.
I know.
We are. I would say you're going to need to talk to a therapist with these debts so large, but the mental health coverage is even worse than the medical health coverage.
And uncovered.
Right, and people feel a lot of emotions, too, connected with it, guilt and shame, and why can't they handle this themselves? And the truth is, you cannot prepare for an unexpected medical expense of $1 million.
Nor can you choose, right?
No.
You could
Right.
arguably not go to college, put off the car, not buy the house, arguably, right?
For your
But
children.
you get sick, it's not a choice.
Right.
It just happens.
Right, you need health care.
Well said.
We got to be able to do better.
Yeah.
All righty. Anna, thank you.